Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 9, and today I will be driving my Pagani Zonda R in multiplayer season finale MP2 series. That's right, I did say my Pagani Zonda R because I have acquired it, it's mine, it's gold, it's beautiful. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I already made a video a couple days ago talking about how there's a special hunt for the Pagani Zonda R going on right now, as well as a regular hunt for the McLaren 600 LT. Link should be appearing in the top right if I remember to put it. But the point is, I was thinking which car should I focus on, and I did say in that video that I was going to focus on the Zonda R. That's exactly what I did. I focused so much on it that I was able to acquire the car, finish all of the stages. I haven't claimed all the tokens here, but yeah, I got the key from the car, and thanks to that, my car is now at gold stats. That's right, straight up gold. So, by the way, thanks to everybody that let me know in the comments of the previous video that you don't need to gold the car in order to get the key. I mean, technically you are supposed to, but thanks to the overclock feature, you can just apply some overclock that's gonna overrank your car, and even if you're not necessarily at gold, you will get the required rank and complete the stage in order to get the key. Now, I personally wanted to gold this car because come on, how often is it that GameLoft just straight up gives you a Class A car at gold? And I know that there were a lot of comments saying like, oh, but the car isn't that good. I'll talk more about that. But like I said, we're gonna go into the season finale, which is, you know, where you're gonna use the cars for the season. And yeah, let me focus on my Zonda R because look at this beauty. So let's try it out in multiplayer and see how bad it really is. Okay, right out of the gate, I think I have an easy road in this particular race because it's only lower class cars and none of them are faster than I am, and this is a top speed track. But if I was in something like, what's it called? Osaka, and I said this because I played with this car yesterday, and in Osaka this car can't do anything, the Zonda, because really the drift is terrible for the car. But hey, so long as you get a half decent track for top speed, you'll be fine. But alright, so what is the deal with this car? Why did I choose this car? Well, first of all, I really like the look of this car. It's one of my favorite non-Lambo cars, straight up. So of course I was interested in getting it. Then on top of that, yeah, it is true that the car isn't fantastic. Yeah, I will say that much. But the fact that the car isn't fantastic doesn't mean that it's a bad car either. In fact, this reminds me a lot of something like the VLF that you can get also in Class A. Reminds me... yeah, most of the VLF, maybe the Aventador SV. And granted, those are 5-star cars, this is 6-star. But this goes, well, goes about the same speed as the Aventador SV. Goes a little slower than the other one, than the VLF. But the acceleration on this thing is much better than either of those two cars. So that is why I say that this car is not that bad. And actually, this reminds me a lot, not as exaggerated or as prominent as with the case of the Fordzilla, but it reminds me a lot of the Fordzilla. I made a video talking about how the Fordzilla, people were just instantly saying that the Fordzilla was bad because it has bad drift. And as said, I argued that, yeah, it doesn't have good drift, but what it does is have insane acceleration. I think it's the fastest acceleration, or one of the absolute fastest acceleration in Class A, where there aren't a lot of super fast accelerating cars. And that kind of makes up for the bad drift, because yeah, over the corners you're gonna have a bit of a bad time, but once you are out of the corner, you just use your nitro and boom, top speed again. Alright, yeah, like I said, I'm not super surprised. Look at this, just a couple of Corvettes and a Class C car. Actually, all those 3 cars disconnected. Okay, cool. No thank you, I think I'll watch for higher credits. And by the way, I didn't stop to actually look at the stats. But yeah, like I was saying, no, actually, look at that. I think it's about the same speed as the VLF, and it's a little faster than the Aventador SV. And I make emphasis on those 2 cars because they're also cars that are known for being relatively quick, but also having bad drift. But look at this acceleration of 84.5. Handling, it's just okay, but like I said, the drift is what's terrible, and the nitro, it's pretty good. Maybe around the same nitro, maybe a little bit, tiny little bit lower than the Aventador Super Veloce, I'm not sure. Okay, this track I might suffer a little bit. Auckland is twistier, so we'll see. But it's not as twisty as Osaka, so there is that. But alright, so why did I decide to go for this car? Well, like I just said, it's one of my favorite looking cars that is not a Lambo, so that is one reason. But another very important reason, and I saw a bunch of comments saying that no, you should go, not specifically me, but just talking in general for anybody that was reading the comments, saying like, people should go for the 600 LT because it's a better car than this. Well, alright. It may be, in Class B, it definitely is a better car than this. Even if that car, the 600 LT, is racing against Class A, in Platinum League, yeah, it will put up a fight the same way that the Huracan puts up a fight. So I understand why people say that that is the card to go for. And to a certain extent, I agree. But that's why in the previous video I said that it's very similar to the Huracan. And the Huracan, it's a card that you're gonna get no matter what in the game, so long as you're playing for long enough and consistently enough. Now, I do understand people that maybe have not gotten to the Huracan and want to get a card of the same performance. That I understand. But the way that I look at it is that the Zonda R, it's a much more rare card than the 600 LT, for the reason that I explained, that we don't know that special hunts are gonna ever repeat for the same cars, while we know that regular car hunts do repeat. So that is one reason why, oh, look at that, beating all of the Corvettes, let's go, and even that other Zonda R. Yeah, and by the way, I'm running without overclocks because reasons. All right, well, that's not super useful because I'm not even close to getting this car, so, fine. Wait, did I just get another? Oh, the message just repeats twice? Is that what happened? Because I got exactly the same thing, right? Yeah, okay. So you get this pop-up twice. I see, okay, it's fine. Greenland. Okay, I don't know how it's gonna perform here, because it does have a couple of annoying parts for bad drifters, but we'll see. So anyway, what I was saying is that in general, I don't know that they're gonna repeat this car hunt again, this special car hunt. And then on top of that, let's just consider, even if it was just a regular car hunt, how often do we get car hunts for decent, not necessarily great, but decent Class A cars? The only ones that come to mind in my head are, and I could be wrong, by the way, someone ought to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the only ones that come to mind, it's like the Victor. The Victor is a pretty good car in Class A, a much better drifter than this, I'll tell you that much. It definitely also has, oh Jesus, pretty good top speed. Oh Jesus Christ, pretty good top speed, but it has bad acceleration, it has good nitro. So there are indeed, well, what other car hunt is there for Class A? I know that there's car hunts for something like the, oh boy. There's soon in the next season, there's gonna be a car hunt for the Senna GTR. That's a 5-star car. And by the way, it's not that I'm valuing more a 6-star car over a 5-star car. In fact, there's something to say about 6-star cars having to deal with the problem of needing more epics in order for them to shine. But still, my point is just saying that I don't believe, oh man, that was a terrible race. I don't believe that GameLove really is super happy to give away Class A cars in car hunts. So that's what I'm saying, that to me it was more important to get a Class A from a car hunt than a Class B. Because Class B, there's a lot of Class B cars that are pretty good that you can acquire through car hunts. And even not necessarily in car hunts, just like the Huracan. And just to prove a point real quick, here's my garage. Doesn't matter which cars I have, it's about the hunts. There might be hunts for this stuff, but you know, these are very low Class A, so that doesn't really count for anything. Yeah, I think there's car hunts for this, but again, low class. McLaren Peak 1, it's half decent. Aventador, I don't know, does the Aventador get a hunt? The Zonda did get a hunt, though I don't know how good or bad it is. But like I'm saying, this is low to mid-low. Then over here, when we get to the higher stuff, not a hunt, not a hunt. This did get a hunt, unfortunately I wasn't able to get it 5-star, but there you go. Not a hunt, this is going to get a hunt, not a hunt, not a hunt, not a hunt. Obviously not a hunt, not a hunt, not a hunt. Or is there a hunt for this? I don't know. Not a hunt, I don't believe so. This we have to start with, thankfully, so this is a good card that you can get in Class A. This, thanks to the special hunt, not a hunt, not a hunt, no, yes, no, 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 and none of these get a hunt. You see what I'm saying? That there's really not that many hunts that are useful over here. Now, if we look at Class B, we do get more hunts. Let's say, where do these decent cars begin? Over here. Hunt, 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 hunt. No, 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 wait. No, I don't think so. No, no, no. Oh, yeah, no, this, yes, yes, no, 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 but it's an easy car to get. So, and all right, and from there, not really that many hunts. But in general, there's so many more cars that are useful. Like I said, just alone the Berlinetta plus this thing that recently got the hunt, the Apollo IE, the Vantage, the Apex is a favorite, the Corvette, all of these are pretty good cars. So that's what I'm saying, that overall, I'm more interested in getting a car hunt for a decent Class C car. Did I say Class C? I meant Class A. Jesus Christ, well done, DBT. And yeah, that's why I say decent. It's just decent. It's not straight up terrible. It's just decent enough. And again, the one thing to consider, and this is something that I wanted to mention earlier on this video, but I forgot. This car, it's surprisingly not difficult to get. Now, I understand if you guys, anybody that is watching this video, are doing that car hunt, the special hunt, and you're still stuck with a 1-star car, don't worry. You just gotta power through the first few stages. Because like I said in the previous video where I was talking about this, I don't know if I made enough emphasis on this point. It's the fact that every stage gets easier in the sense of the drop rate. It sounds ginormously gigantic to have to do what was it, 200 and something blueprints for this car, right? It's like, god damn, it's gonna take forever for me to get them. In theory, yes, but really the main difficulty of that lies in the first couple of stages, because those are the ones in which you're gonna get really good. Oh Jesus, that was a terrible attempt at a knockdown. I spun on the wrong direction, but anyway. Oh boy. Yeah, the first stages are the most difficult ones precisely because that's where you get the worst drop rate. But trust me, that's why I made some updates in the channel, in my community, that if you didn't see them. Over the past couple of days, I made updates precisely like, hey, when I started this hunt, I was already at 3 stars, and by now, 1 day later, I have already 5 stars. And then the next day is like, nope, that's done, it's gold. Just straight up. That's how quickly you can advance from 3 stars to 6 stars and gold the car. Now, like I said, that is obviously because I started at 3 stars, so I didn't have to bother with the most difficult stages of the thing, right? I get that. Ooh, let's go, baby. Oh, barely. Okay, let the record show, I wasn't 316. He got knocked down because he was touching me. So yeah, I do understand that I did skip. Look at that. Oh man, I mean, this car is always spam, but in this particular series, it's a little bit more obvious. Okay, now this is where it shows. It's gonna show where the real weakness of this car is. I mean, it's not a secret, everybody knows about the drift. But anyway, so what was I saying in the last video? See, the thing is that for you, the last race was a few seconds ago. For me, it was, I don't know, a minute ago. So I kind of lose track of what was happening on what I was saying on the last one. Oh, good, I thought it was gonna crash. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, this really is where you're gonna suffer with a car like this, with a bad drift. And even then, this is not the absolute worst version of Osaka for this car. There's even twistier ones. So I guess I'll count my blessings or something. What was I talking about? Probably about drift? I don't even know. Okay, I'm gonna do some wall hogging because I need it with this car. And even then I'm still somehow keeping... Oh god, I missed! Oh! I missed! Alright, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I was already way too lucky by not having landed on my roof on that ramp, so okay, it's fine. The L was expected anyway. Yeah, again, super twisty tracks, you're gonna have a bad time with this car, that is for sure. But that is when I say that this car is not fantastic, yeah, but it isn't terrible. Yeah, it's bad in some particular tracks, but it's the same as if you bring a Corvette Grand Sport into Himalayas. You know, and you're facing against any Class B car that is a little bit faster than that. You know, well, granted, the Grand Sport still has some other advantages, but so does this car in a different way. Speaking of Himalayas, you see what I'm saying? I would say that this is probably the best way to describe this car is that it's an extreme car, in the sense that it's in one of the extremes of performance. This car, it focuses more about acceleration and top speed, and that is where it excels, or those are its strong points. Look at that acceleration, I just out-accelerated everybody. Because again, good acceleration, not the best, but then again, do remember that in Class A, there aren't a ton of accelerators. Yeah, there's things like the Vanda, but the Vanda doesn't have high top speed. So this is an extreme car that goes into one of the extremes. Another extreme is precisely the Vanda, for example. That one, yeah, it does have acceleration, and it focuses a lot on that and agility, but what does it have? Or rather, what it doesn't have is top speed. So then there are cars like, and granted, this is a different class, but there's cars like the Corvette Grand Sport that people love, right? Well, oh Jesus, because it's really easy to get. That car, it focuses a lot into insane nitro duration along with great handling, and that's about it. Because acceleration doesn't have it. It doesn't, come on, pick it up, nice. Doesn't have the acceleration, doesn't have top speed. It's very slow. So that's what I'm saying. And you bring one of those cars like the Corvette into a top speed track, it won't be able to do very well. You bring a top speed car into a twisty track, then yeah, the Zonda is not going to be able to do so well. So that's what I'm saying, that it really depends, as usual, as to what track you land on. Auckland, here we go, to prove the opposite point. More twisty track, and the twisty cars, well, you know, twisty cars, twisty able cars are probably gonna destroy me over here. So, and by the way, I do understand, I wanna make it clear that I'm not saying, right, I wanna make it clear that I'm not saying that this car is the fastest car or anything like that. When I just say that it has good top speed, is that it is a little bit above the average of Class A. Maybe some could argue that this is the average for Class A, but I think it's, well, I did say that this was probably going to be a bad experience for this car. But yeah, it's a little bit fast in general. It definitely, yeah, there's cars that go even faster than this in Class B and whatnot, but there's always outliers like that, right? But yeah, so top speed is, oh god, it's a little bit over the average that I consider for Class A. And like I said, the acceleration helps it, so yeah. And by the way, I'm not trying to convince you to go for this car, right? Everybody's free to go for whichever car you prefer. If you really want the 600LT, then go for the 600LT. I'm just explaining why I thought that, to me, this car seemed like a better option, regardless of the fact that I like it more visually speaking, a lot more, that this was for me in my garage a better option. To have another Class A car that I'm gonna be able to bring when I don't have the Legend Pass and I am limited on fuel with all of the cars, well, now I have another car that I can bring into the races before I have to worry about refueling and all of that stuff. So that is why this was interesting to me. Ah, come on, and they gave me another Auckland race. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Auckland, but the game is like, nope. All right, so I did want to mention also, it's kind of funny because this car, the Zonda R, was released for the first time in the game at the same time that they added the SCG-007S. And these two cars are Class A, and they're indeed like different sides of the spectrum, and that's what I was trying to say with cars that are a bit on the extreme side of the performance. And by extreme, I don't mean amazing. Extreme means literally at one extreme compared to another extreme, for example, like the opposite sides of the spectrum. And by that I mean that this car, like I just explained, pretty good top speed, good acceleration, not agile at all, decent nitro duration. And then you have something like the SCG-007S that is, like I said, completely the opposite, where that car also has good acceleration. In fact, it has even better acceleration than this, but it's slower than this by like 10 kilometers or something like that. And it's much more agile, insanely agile. Oh, am I gonna get a W with the Zonda? Let's go! All right, this was an easier version of the track for this car. So yeah, they're just different, and worse nitro on the, much worse nitro on the SCG-007. So that's what I say, that it is interesting how people are focused on just saying that this car is terrible. It's not great, yes, but it's just alright for when you land in top speed oriented tracks, where I understand also that there's a bunch of cars that you can consider like generalists, you know, that they can perform just about in any track, but they don't necessarily excel at any particular one thing. They're good overall. This is not one of them. So there you go. Just wanted to give you some more thoughts about it. I'm really happy that I was able to unlock this car because, by the way, in case you didn't know, as I'm recording this, it's my birthday. So this is kind of my birthday gift. But no, I'm actually gonna give myself another birthday, and it has to do with a Lambo. You'll know about it pretty soon. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.